Hello everyone. Just as a side note, our baby boy is on the bed. If you need some attention, I may have to go to him, but you may see him and hear him kicking his balloon around. He likes to, so that's what he's doing. But today I thought I would do another RV video. This video is going to be all about organization and how we fit a lot of things in a tiny space. Because living in such a small space, sometimes you have to get creative about how to fit quite a lot of stuff into a very small area, especially if you have a baby, like we do. As is, we don't really have a ton of stuff, but it is a very small space. So, I'm just going to walk you through not so much like the standard storage areas that already come with the RV, but more kind of the tweaks and little things that we have done to the already existing space. I'm going to start at the door and just take y'all around the RV. So, this is what we call Belle's Corner. It's this platform here and this empty area at the base of the bed that we didn't quite know what to do with, and that her food bin actually ended up being the perfect size to fit in this space. Then we got her a dog bed, and we knew moving into an RV that we would want her to have her own space, especially with a baby on the way, just for her to be able to go and be and escape to and have her own little personal area. So that worked out really well. She's got a cushion and her blanket, a basket of her toys, and her bed. And then down below, if you guys don't do this, especially in Florida, you all should. We've done this before we even lived in an RV, but we keep her food in a bin instead of just in an open bag where moisture and bugs and who knows what else could get into it. Or her. You know, she can't get into it. So the bin just keeps it nice and sealed and safe, and it provides a platform. So it creates kind of like a staircase almost, in addition to it just being good storage-wise, for her to be able to easily get up onto the bed. And in the space beside it here, it's actually covered by these shoe things. She has two different baskets down here. One houses like her winter coats and swim vest and things like that in it, and the other houses like her toys and bath stuff. And then, as you will notice, right here we have some shoe things. These are actually cut up. I got one long one that's meant to go in a closet and cut it into strips, and before it housed Kyle's shoes. It actually used to have double-sided sticky tape and housed my shoes, but we found a better way to house my shoes that I can get to them easier. You wouldn't think it is, but it's easier, and it keeps them more like sanitary and stuff, because my shoes were getting really nasty and torn up in here. Kyle's are more durable, so his seemed to work better in this situation. However, they're a bit more heavy, so the double-sided sticky tape got torn down, but they used to be stuck to the side. Yeah, so that helps with storage of the shoes. And then following along still here on the ground, and then we'll move our line of sight upward a bit, are these two baskets. Now, we don't really like the handles that stick out of the top. Eventually, we'd like to cut them off. But these provide a sort of a nightstand situation for us. So in here, we've just got like the things that we like to keep by our bedside. And they're two separate things. Each of them have 3 baskets, the same size, going all the way down to the ground. And that's where we keep a lot of our like nightstand stuff. The stuff we don't need as much go in the back baskets, and the stuff we need more often go in the top and close baskets. So there's that. Then moving on upward, still on this side of the RV, and kind of moving around the RV, you'll notice we have these baskets hanging. So those did not come with the RV. We screwed them in, and in here is just regular cabinetry. We didn't do anything special in there. It's just regular storage. I'm going to move your balloon here, Bug. But we thought about keeping books up in here, but instead, by keeping the books out of the cabinets and in these baskets instead, it freed up all of this inside here to keep games. Kyle's clothing is up in here, and just a bunch of different odds and ends, where we wouldn't have the room for this stuff if we didn't have our books in baskets outside of this cabinet. So it provides a good place for our books to live, and frees up more space inside the actual cabinet for things we don't necessarily want on display, like clothing and things that we want more protected. So there's that, and we have all those And then we have one over here. And then in these benches, it's just regular storage. Up here, it's regular storage. The next thing where we kind of really changed some things is this cabinet space here. I'll start with the inside and then work my way up because the top part requires a lot more explanation. So inside here is mainly my stuff. So as you can see, I've stuffed a lot of, it's not so organized right now. I've been going through my clothes after pregnancy and having to see what fits me, what may fit me in the future, and what it just is a no-go anymore at all. So, but we have these wire shelves. They're actually meant for kitchens, but I have 2 of them stacked side by side that go all the way back that provide a nice sort of shelf in here, like an extra set of shelves, so I can fit more stuff in here. So I don't actually have a ton of clothing. It looks like a ton, and like I said, it's a mess right now, but I actually don't have a ton of clothing. What you see right here is everything that I own, and this whole top part is actually stuff I meant to get rid of anyway. So don't mind the underwear bit of stuff. But this is where I have now decided to keep my shoes. As I mentioned, I used to keep them in the things over there. I now keep them in this container. It is completely, like, it clicks tight shut, and I put moisture packets in there so they all stay sealed up and nicely and organized in there. Whenever I want any of my shoes, I can just pull out this bin, pick my pair of shoes, put a whole bin in there, and they stay nice and stored in there. Just perfectly tucked away and completely out of the way. So that works out quite nicely, and they're not just laying all over or tucked in somewhere just by the door or wherever. So it's nice. Oh, and then yeah, just laundry, and we have actually like extra diapers and stuff tucked up under there too. All right, this is where we keep Ronan's laundry basket. It's really the best place for it, in this little nook right where the door opens. There's nothing that you can put there because it's a door anyway, so if you're gonna put anything permanent, there would be no point. So we just stick his laundry basket there because it fits quite nicely. It doesn't stick out too much farther than the bench itself, so it really doesn't like invade into your space. And then by that, we hung these hooks that we have screwed in right here. And this houses aprons and my robe and things hanging that don't necessarily fit in here and don't really have a place anywhere else in the RV that we need a place for them. So we hung some hooks right by where the clothes go anyway, and across from the kitchen is perfect for the aprons. So yeah, that just fit the area nicely because this part sticks out a little bit, and they just tuck right up against this door and are right out of the way, and it works nicely. Then up here, we wanted extra space on top because previous to this being here, it was just extra room of stuff. And yeah, we could stack it in tottering piles of messiness, but we wanted something to keep all of Ronan's stuff organized, and this helped us do it. So this is just cheapy little, I don't know, I think we got it from Target, bin shelving things where the bins come completely out, that we can keep some of his stuff nice and organized and stacked, and it allows for a lot more room up here because we knew we really wanted to utilize the space somehow, because it would allow us to fit more stuff. I may have to take a brief intermission. Hold on. Yeah, so as I was saying, the shelves allows us to have it more organized and utilize the space more efficiently than just having it open, and we could put stuff up here without the shelving, but the shelving provides more like room to put things and actually have it organized. So we have like the clothes he wears now, some wipe stuff and diaper things, and then like clothes he might wear later in life. And that kind of brings your line of sight over to this, which looks at a glance like a disaster, but it's actually really quite organized. We have all of his books that we read to him every morning in his diaper bag and things that we need like every single day for him right up front. This is basically all of his space. This whole top bunk is almost completely his. Yeah, that we need immediately is all up front. And then at the back and on top, we have things of his that we don't necessarily need right now or may need later on. Like, we have a stroller fan that we don't use every day, so it can be tucked up out of the way. We have his stroller attachment that he won't need until he's a lot bigger back there, and just things like that. His chair that he sits in is up at the top. He's got a basket of stuffed animals that he can't really do anything with at the moment because he can't sleep with anything in his bed right now, that we don't necessarily need at the moment. And then back behind that, we have bins of like our old photographs and things that we didn't want to get rid of but still store. That's back here. That brings us down to his bed. This is also where we got a little bit nifty. So we had some things that we could either A, just get rid of, or B, keep and kind of store. But they were things that we didn't necessarily want to get rid of, that we didn't have to. And since we didn't have to, we found a clever way of storing them. So because he's so small, he doesn't need a ton of space to sleep. So this is his bed. However, it goes all the way back here, and as you've noticed, we have folded the mattress part, in half. And the half part of this mattress, let me turn on this light. So that's not a wall, it's the mattress that we've just folded in half. And when you peel that back, we have more storage up behind his bed that we can now use. So, instead of just giving him the whole length of the bed and having to figure out what to do with all that, like I have my old wedding dress and then seasonal stuff back there that we have stored, instead of having to find a place to put them or get rid of them, we just made his bed a little smaller to fit him anyway because he doesn't need the whole length of the bed. And yeah, folded that up. The half of the mattress hides all that storage stuff nicely. And it also provides us extra room back in there. And then under his bed is some extra storage stuff as well. And then this is where the chair lives during the day because it's set up at night. And we set it in front of our door, but we don't go in and out and no one ever comes at night. And so it doesn't really matter that it's in the way. So here it just gets tucked up out of the way for now. Then we have a hanging mirror because I don't know if you've noticed yet, or if you will notice at all, or if you've watched any other RV videos of mine, this RV did not come with a mirror, period. We had no mirror at all, and so to get ready and stuff, for Kyle to do his hair, me to do my hair, to get ready, see our outfits, whatever we wanted, I knew I wanted a mirror. So we got a hanging one because there's nowhere to actually hang a mirror, and the back of a door is perfect, so we just hung it on our bathroom door. Now, our bathroom I'm really proud of. We have fit a ton of stuff in a very small space, and I feel like made it work really well and not made it feel too cramped. So, starting with the door. The door, we have this hook where Kyle and I hang our towels, and it's just a hook that hangs on the door. Simple as that. Then in here, we have our messy trash and all my stuff. This is where we keep our extra toilet paper, and this just on the ground. But then we have two of these baskets. One for this corner outside of the shower. That works quite nicely, and it gives us like a medicine cabinet effect where we can keep all of our stuff. Then we also have one in the shower. One of the corner racks in the shower that houses our actual stuff that we use, like all of baby's shampoos and things, and all of mine and Kyle's and whatnot. All of our soaps and shampoos and stuff goes in the shower. So we have two of those little corner racks that provide a lot of space for us. Then up here on the wall, we have two hooks that we have screwed in. One is where baby's bathtub can hang, and other is where baby's towels go. So our towels, Ronan's towels. Then down on the ground for our extra towels, guest towels, whatever towels. Towels, when these towels get dirty, we need to replace them towels. Have gone into this basket. They fit perfectly and snugly just down in here, and then they slide back into the corner. Just right next to the tub, right out of the way, because no one stands here anyway. They're not in the way. And it's just the perfect place to put our extra towels. So it works out great. Then I have another shoe rack that I cut short. I cut like three or four of these like sections off of the bottom. So first off, they were just unnecessary and weren't being used. And second off, it made it so it was a lot less heavy. And then we just hung them from our shower hooks, and they hang on the back of the curtain. And we hung them on the side closest to the wall above the towels, because that makes it more out of the way, because they're not right here in your face, and we're not going to squeeze ourselves into this corner to like stand here, so they're not in our way when we're doing things and moving around in the bathroom. And it still provides us with the same amount of space that we would have had even if this wasn't here. And it provides us with more storage options. Now, over on this wall on the inside of the bathroom, you'll have to swing around and see, we have a mount for our toothbrushes and toothpaste that just sits right here on the inside. Yeah, so whenever we need to brush our teeth, we only have one sink. We just open up this, swing around the inside, grab what we need, and do it over the sink. And then we have the mirror on the back of the door. And then it just sits right here nicely, ready for use. And that is our bathroom. So, that made me remember, because this is the only mirror in the place, I have my makeup brushes in the same sort of wall mount right next to the mirror so that I can take down my makeup and set it up here and get it out and use my brushes right in front of the mirror and stuff. So this is where I store my makeup brushes, which are dirty and need to be washed. All right, next, moving on to the kitchen part of the storage. This is where a lot of things kind of got creative, which I'm really proud of. So we have velcroed some hooks to the wall here for any and all utensils that don't need to go in drawers that can hang, because we only have 3 drawers, if you'll notice, that are available for storing stuff in. So I didn't want to try and fit all of these things in drawers, so all the way back behind here and then up. And nothing is here because it wouldn't allow this to open as nicely. So this can open all the way, even with those being there. And none of them fall off or do anything. So this is in perfect working order. And these allow to just hang here nicely for whenever we need them. And plus it's nice because this is where we cook and prep things. So if you're cooking, you need a whisk, grab the whisk, put it in the sink, whatever. It's nice. So all of this stuff is readily available, and it is more space efficient for us because we don't have to find space in the drawer for them because our drawers get very full. So, and then it's very wet here, and also we don't like just a lot of free floating open bags of things that could spill all over, especially in an RV when we were in motion a lot. This helped to not have bags that might explode all over. We put our loose things like sugar, flours normally in this one. This one's a drink mix. But then things like rice and lentils, quinoa, and all this stuff in these like closable, sealable containers, which are really nice that we can set out on the counter, and it kind of gets them out of the cupboards and out of the way, and there aren't a bunch of loose bags we have to try and stuff different places. So they have their designated places, keeps them nice and usable and safe, and I'm gonna have to go get him again. So those are all those things. And then we have this spice rack. So instead of trying to find a bunch of space in our cabinets for all of our spices and things, we found this, I can't remember where, but it hangs, and it's actually meant to hang up inside of a cabinet, but our cabinets are a little bit, like the shelving doesn't quite allow for that much room to where we could kind of finagle it in there, but we wouldn't be able to pull it in and out. So we just decided to hang it on the underside of the cabinet instead. And we hung it kind of close and out of the way. So it's right next to where we're cooking, but it's not like in everything else's way and stuff. And then we just have our spices all handy right here. And it gets them out of our cupboards and frees up a lot of space for other things that we may want or need inside of the cabinets. We also have his bottle brush, some straw brushes, our cup brush and things like that along the back wall for cleaning that we have hung to get it up out of the way as well, right near the sink, so that if you're washing something, it's easy to just grab, wash, put back if you need. And then for paper towels, which we don't have any up right now, we were deliberating and debating on what to do. We thought we could get like a towel stand, but that would take up too much counter room and we weren't really sure. So I thought of getting just something we could screw into the shelf and have the paper towels hanging just up out of the way. So that's what this is right here. It doesn't take up a lot of space. It doesn't look horrible. It's just nice and simple and out of the way, and that houses our paper towels. When there are paper towels on it, they just hang here. Rip one off and it's nice. And the paper towels only hang to about here, so they're really not in the way, like, at all. Alright, now, up inside of our cabinets, we got these baskets that hang down that provide us with more space. It was the same type of thing over in my clothes cabinet. So instead of getting the shelves that have legs, I didn't want the legs impeding the space and having to work around the legs, so I just got some hanging baskets that allow a little extra space. So now there are plates, and it allows for all of this unused space up here to be filled with a basket, because now I can put stuff above the plates without having to just stack it all unneatly and things like that. Yeah, so these baskets allow this unused empty space that would previously not be used up by anything to be able to be filled with food and things like that that we want. So that gives us a lot extra space to store more food and options like that. Alright, moving down here, we've also got a bell on the bench. This is where we keep our trash can and his diaper pail. They just tuck back in here at the back of the bench. We normally sit like here and here on both benches anyway, just at the very edges, so no one ever slides all the way to the back of the bench as is. So it's not impeding any foot space or anything like that. They just tuck nicely back there against the wall. You don't notice them at all, and it gets them perfectly out of the way. Now, if you'll swing around this way, there's nothing terribly crazy up in here except for this. We have screwed in some like hanging bottle things. They're not really hooks per se, it's like a rod that has been screwed in that we can hang our bottles up on the side of the wall, and it just allows for more space down here. So instead of all of these having to be stacked up and taking up this like shelf space, it gets them up out of the way, things can go underneath them, and it leaves more room for other things that maybe can't hang, because bottles are perfectly able to hang. So you just unhook it and it hooks on a rod just like this and just hangs until you need it. And then if I can see what I'm doing, I'm normally more graceful at it. Then you just hang it right back up there, and it's really nice. Alright, then we have a place for towels. Again, we got something that hangs that would be out of the way, because we were like, well, we could get one of those stands for little hand towels, and we thought of a bunch of different options. We didn't want anything hanging down here that would be in our faces and out of, like, in the way. So we just got something that hangs from a cabinet door. It's just a little ring that we stick our towels on. It's just right down here. That allows a place for us to have towels out. We don't have to hang it off of a knob or over the sink thing, and yeah, it's just nicer. It's there for our use, and yeah, allows for a place for them to be. Alright, then over here, we have come full circle. We are now back at the door. Inside of here, there's nothing really special or unique. However, instead of putting all of this stuff in a drawer, this is where we put our cutting board and things like cling wrap, wax paper, snack bags and stuff. So I just found this hanging basket, and again, it just hangs like right there on the back of a cabinet door. It fit perfectly along this cabinet door. It like takes up the perfect amount of space on it. And yeah, we just slid all of that in there, and it made it perfectly. It doesn't stick out too far, so it doesn't impede your space when you're going in and out of the RV. And there you have it. Alright, really quick before I end this, I forgot to mention, if you'll notice, our table is kind of taken up by diapers, a changing pad, and some wipes. That's because it doubles as a changing table for our baby. So we don't have like a big old changing table, we just have a changing pad that we put on a table, hence changing table. Our original plan was to take this off every day and move it to up on his storage bed area and to get it out of the way. But to be honest, we don't use the table like a terrible amount, and we change him so much that it was just pointless to move this away from the table at the moment, so it just sort of lives here. So this kind of functions as we like eat and work right here, and then his changing stuff kind of remains on the other half of it. So that's what all of this is. So I really think that's all that I got for you in terms of little different things that we've done to kind of find new ways to store our things. And yeah, that's all I got for you. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Comment down below if you know anybody that lives in an RV, if you live in an RV yourself, and different things that you guys do for storage, or if you just don't really care and you just use the storage available to you in general and you don't need to come up with new little creative things, or if you have different little creative things, or just anything, comment them down below because I'm interested to know what you guys all do. Or even in a home. You don't have to live in an RV. Yeah, so that's all I got for you guys. Subscribe, hit the little bell button to notify you every single time I upload, and I will see you guys next time.